Welcome back to Hornet and welcome aboard the Hornet Mk.III here in a realistic battle on the Bulge map, and we are facing the Germans, and I have to say that's my favorite kind of engagement for various different reasons. I'm currently spading this thing, and I have also had a lot, and I mean a lot of battles on the preparation for the landing on Hokkaido map versus the Americans, and you might think, that's a very good map for this plane as well. Why is that? Well, you can engage bombers and you can engage them easily because this plane has not just an air start and a very good climb rate, it also keeps it to altitude, and for 20mm Hispano Mk.5 with 760 rounds can deal the damage. And this is where the problematic with the B-17s and B-29s and B-24s come in. There has happened so many incredible nonsense with it that I was just like, what the hell is wrong with the kind of weaponry within War Thunder? I was going into head-ons with the bombers and trying to shred their wings. I had perfect lead. I saw it bristle and sparkling all over the wings between the engines, and from time to time I saw off some of those wings, but very often the engine got set on fire. I fired like 200 rounds, of which at least half of them hit. I had the aim down pretty good actually, and the engine just got set on fire. The bomber nicked a little bit to one side, and I thought, okay, my work is done. I just dove under him, I made evasive actions to prevent getting hit by 50 cals, and then the fire got extinguished, the bomber flew on, shot down another Spitfire that tried to damage him. I tried to communicate with my team, look, it's the right wing that is pretty hard damaged, focus on that one and so forth. Bombers are way too tanky against those 20mm Hispanos, and I have no idea what it is. Now, in the bottom left corner, you can see another issue, but that is a personal issue. However, I really have to stress out, the battles that I played against the Americans, I had very good connection. A very low ping, around about something between 35 and 70, whenever it depended on the exact match and so forth, and 0 packet loss. In this match, you kind of see something else, especially at the end, and that has to do with my internet connection, to which I will come in a moment. So, the Hornet Mk.III, excellent climber, good armament, it has so much energy. It's not the best turn fighter, of course, I mean it's a heavy bomber, but it's not unmaneuverable. In fact, one of the maneuverability assets is kind of weird, and that is the roll rate. You have a very good roll rate, but it keeps the momentum and makes it more sluggish than you might expect from a plane when you're used to some of the other British heavy fighters. And well, especially when you then hack in with your keyboard controls, like full elevator up and so forth, it refuses then to roll at all, and it's a bit weird, but it's not uncontrollable at times compared to German flight models. And you know, hate me for that, but this is my opinion, this is my experience by having flown all of them. So this plane is really great, and you can see it just keeps the power at any altitude. I think even when stocked it was very good. I think I made already a video about this plane, but I think it's worth, you know, showcasing it once more. And this is in fact the final battle that I had to play to get the last upgrade. So here we can see a Tau 152. It's a German fighter, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it's the C.3, so it's the mid-altitude version. And I set him on fire and I let him burn, because unlike American planes, when you set something on fire that is German, it burns, and it will burn through. This is my experience. So maximum effort there, maximum effort. Yeah, he didn't saw me, he didn't do any evasive actions, but even then you can do all those fake attacks, and the only way that the enemy has is actually going either into a head-on or do evasive actions and ultimately sacrifice altitude. And my actions here are not perfect. My actions are far from being aesthetically amazing or something like this, but it gets the job done, and this is one big criteria for me, how effective a plane is, and this plane is effective. So let's sum it up so far. You outclimb almost everything, even Japanese plane, but I haven't faced them once in this plane, I have to admit. Just Americans and also the either the Germans or the Americans, so either of those two nations, and you outclimb them all. With the Americans, you can seal club them pretty hard with the overwhelming amount of ground attackers, 82s, 84s, despite being fantastic aircraft. You know, yeah, they have their limits, let's put it that way. Then also the Germans, you easily outclimb them, you easily out-energize them, and ultimately your weaponry is superior to theirs. In a head-on, you can shoot from 1.5 kilometers and just blight them, if you know how to lead the guns. So, at this point in time, a lot of fog. I have no idea where the enemies are all on this big map. And another question that I have to ask myself is, what is fairness within game, okay? And this is a question that I again cannot really judge, and this is a pure player's behavior at times. So for example, look at this tower 152. I shoot at him while he has somebody else on his tail, I get the kill. And what about the plane behind him? Because I just sacrificed a lot of altitude. Yes, I got the kill, but was this a kill steal? Was this a kill secure? Was this legit? Or was it unfair compared to the guy that chased him a few seconds longer than I am? This is a question that I cannot answer. But if you're always fair and so forth, you don't get the result. Sure, if you play a plane for fun, you can say, okay, this guy deserves the kill. For example, here on the Mk.III, it's on fire. There is no way that I should interfere. Then there is this Focke-Wulf on 90, he dove hard and he just tries to zoom up, but you know, I am a Hornet Mk.III and he's dead. Yeah, Focke-Wulf, very fragile, very unmaneuverable if you exclude the roll rate, which just makes them catch more shells in my opinion. And yeah, nice next kill. At this point in time, there are not many enemies left and I don't know what to do. So there is SBA, and I hate the AAA actually on this map, not SBA, AAA. And oh, what's those beautiful rainbow traces? Oh, it's a K4. And he dove out of the clouds. And here you can see the roll rate is all over the place. And you know, this is not a stock thing. And yeah, here I get a nice beautiful spark. This is another thing that I absolutely hate about Hispanos, when they spark without doing anything. In fact, I'm using here the old stealth belt and not the newer anti-air belt or air targets belt, because especially against bombers you need the AP shell, and I'm just used to the AP damage, which is good. So the sparking in my books comes from something else, connection issues and so forth. And again, the first thing that I will read in the comments, and I'm sure about this, is fix your internet. Okay, let's talk about my internet for a change. When I do some test shooting with planes, or especially with tanks, I'm looking for having a good ping to exclude that. There are times in the day where my internet is just fine, because when there is a problem with my internet, it has to do with multiple people having access to that internet. There is nothing that I can do, absolutely nothing. I've tried, I've contacted multiple people, there is absolutely no way that I can change this in the next future. It's at least another year that I have to endure it. However, if you still have a nice match, my commentary about a plane or a tank, even when having, you know, internet connection problems, does not just come from this one match. Keep that in mind. So if you judge me, don't judge me because there is suddenly one simple lag spike. So the P109K was deleted by a Spitfire because balance, and I could have easily played with him, outrun him, out-energize him in the long run. it's so doable with this plane against Germans, even when stuck. Hate me for this. I'm doing this all the time myself. Okay, if I'm not, you know, blowing myself up in an unnecessary head-on, or doing stupid stuff, or getting hit randomly by AAA that then ruins my maneuverability that I expected to go into a fight with. And then there is this G56 alive, and he's hunting our B-29 that I escorted early on. Again, then that raises the question, did I fail my escort capabilities? Because this plane actually can reach your bombers, if they stay at altitude, before enemy fighters can go near it. So just to put this in perspective, for this extremely fantastic 5.7 British heavy fighter, strike fighter, air defense fighter, whatever you want to call it. And this is something that the Germans, again in the Mk.III lack. I mean, if they have no chance to intercept a Hornet with planes at their own battle rating, the Focke-Wulf Doras, the Tau-152s, all variants of them, and do not even have the high altitude capability to really challenge it, then something is wrong in the game. The last topic that I wanted to mention is the video about the golden opportunity, and by God, you guys are crazy. At the moment there are way above 800 individual comments that I have to go through. I try to keep track of them, but this, you know, if every comment takes like a minute to read and to summarize and to, you know, put into a what should I call it, a topic or the bigger picture, then, you know, 800, 900 comments and it's still going. That's a long time. That's like 15 hours at least that I need to, not 15 hours, but a long time that I need to invest to go through. I asked for this and you guys have really surprised me. Now you can see the lag is spiking, and again there is nothing that I can do. I decided myself to go on a run against this G56, and again the question is this fair? He's the last guy alive. He got probably damaged, he ran out of ammunition, so him returning back to the airfield is more than legitimate. And here you can see, yeah, that's my internet, that's beautiful. I wouldn't judge the plane and its behavior by that, but it's something that we need to keep in mind. And now there are two things. First of all, I get hammered hard, I have a bad internet connection, and you can really feel it. I mean, look at the numbers and how they are changing and switching and so forth. I get hammered by SPA, but the plane is rugged, and the enemy player, the last player alive, actually bailed out, and he gives us the win. And this is hats off to you, sir. You've done good. Was my strafe legitimate? Even if it would have succeeded? I don't know. And this is again, you know, a big portion of the discussion that is going on. If I do it, it's the world's most shameful thing that there is. If somebody else is doing, well, you know, it's competitive and so forth. At the end, I got my 3 kills, I got my 60,000 civil lines and 4,700 modification research points, third in team, 2,222 score points, and the last module being unlocked. So this is good. I like this plane, I like how it flies. Finally it's upgraded. There are just a handful of planes that I need to still spade at rank 4, 2 American and another British one. In fact, the Whirlwind is one of the worst aircraft that I have flown in a long time. But at the end of the day, that's it for me today. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if it did, subscribe if you want to see more. Check out the video with the golden opportunity if you haven't seen it already. And yeah, see you next time in the skies of War Thunder.